So, have you ever tried doing keto or fasting and you are up all night peeing? I mean, when you do low carb, you're in the bathroom all night and you don't know why. Well, hi, I'm Dr. Emily. We're going to go over what supplements are best taken with keto and fasting. So, the kidneys will dump a lot of water on the first few days of when you are restricting your carbs. If you're doing that with keto or if you're fasting, that is when you will find yourself in the bathroom late at night. And in the toilet, there goes the minerals out with the water. Water is just a carrier for minerals. And when those minerals go away, you are losing important nutrients behind, like salt, magnesium, potassium, calcium. All of these different things are so important to your health. They're also known as electrolytes. So this is why you need salt when you're doing keto or fasting. So my favorite electrolytes are a few brands. You can find them in the link below that we're going to talk about as well. So we want to make sure that you are hydrating with mineral water. So mineral water is also extremely good for the body because it's going to have something that is measurable within mineral water, which is called the total dissolved solids, or TDS. The higher the TDS, the more mineral content of that water. Just like wine. When you have heavy wine, it's associated with red wine, where it's heavier, more palpable, more textured, versus the lighter wine or the white wine that you associate with light taste, just more clarity. And that's also just looking at the depth of the minerals in the water compared to wine. So you can have really low TDS water, kind of similar to the white wine, or high TDS water associated with more of the red wines, more thicker, more on the palate. So you want the red wine of the mineral waters to help bring back salt, to bring back those minerals into your body. So examples of high TDS water you can get around the grocery stores is going to be Gerolsteiner. You can find Superior, that's up from Michigan. The Gerolsteiner is from Germany. Vichy Catalan is from Spain. And you might be able to resource these from a specific vendor online if you cannot find them in your local grocery stores or your specialty grocery stores for that matter. So what about thyroid supplements? So we're talking about what supplements are the best taken with keto and fasting. We talked about electrolytes. What about thyroid supplements? Because there's a myth that goes on that the thyroid goes crazy when you're doing keto, when you're doing low carb, when you're fasting a little bit more. Well, get this. You need salt. All right. Salt is needed to get the iodine into the thyroid to make T3 and T4. If you are dehydrated, if you are not consuming those much needed minerals, then you're going to have issues with thyroid. It goes back to the root cause. Okay. So, man, you add on top of it any other medication that depletes sodium, in addition to something where you're not hydrating. Maybe you're taking a depression medication, and that has also been shown in the literature to deplete sodium with that. So, thyroid supplements, well, you need to take thyroid supplements when you're fasting or when you're low carbing. Not necessarily. Depends on you. Work with your doctor on that one. But when you take the big picture view of it, make sure you're getting those minerals. What about ketones? So this is a popular topic, especially within the ketogenic world when we talk about ketones and supplements. All right. There's a very popular ketone that's out there. They're doing a lot of research on it called beta hydroxybutyrate, or BHB. These are connected to a salt. So guess what? When you connect a beta hydroxybutyrate to a salt, that salt is going to be very supportive. We just talked about how much those minerals are needed when we go low carb. So it can be helpful to get that salt in. The beta hydroxybutyrate component of it, it has been shown in the literature to help ease into a ketogenic way of eating. Is it necessary to take a ketone product? No, you make them. It can be helpful because one of the reasons is the salts on there. They are doing other research with esters, different types of support. And even in the cognitive function world with Alzheimer's and dementia, they're finding that ketones can be helpful for that. So it can ease into fasting. It can be something tasty you can add in to drink in there. You immediately see ketones when you test. Okay. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're producing them yourself. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it. Research is showing that brain support with those cognitive issues can be very helpful with it. So you don't need the ketones. You can make your own ketones. They can be expensive. And sometimes the MLM brand, the component of it can be a little bit more sales pitchy for my taste. So keep in mind, mineral blends are super helpful for those. A B complex may be very helpful for methylation, especially needed to help clear excitatory neurotransmitters out of the body. If you get into methylation, if you get into some genetics, when we look at this, it could be very helpful. So the neurotransmitters, those excitatory neurotransmitters go up when we go on a fast, when we cut back carbs. So to clear those neurotransmitters, B vitamins, magnesium is going to be required for that. So drink water. That's going to be also my last bit of advice when we're looking at what supplements are best taking with keto and fasting. Do not forget to hydrate with water. Again, make sure you're running this by your functional medicine doctor, your provider. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure that you love others, you're investing in your health, and you got this.